Hello, traders. It is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, and another update by the market today. So not a big update, not a whole lot going on in the markets as we kind of just stagnate a little bit here. So markets are a little bit asleep, but we're not. So we're making some good money. But I wanted to start off tonight trying to give you some tidbits as we go. But I want to talk about something that I met with our small group training today and pointed out really three keys to being successful in trading, not in any particular order, but the first one I wanted to go through with you really was consistency. Consistency is absolutely key to being successful in trading. Building your wealth requires consistently trading and not bouncing around from one trade to the next. You see it so many times. We've got traders that are, looking at YouTube posts and Twitter posts and, myself and other people that are putting ideas out there. And you think, oh, this looks great. I'm going to hop on this. Or some guy scalps over here and makes 10 grand in a week or a day or something. And then somebody over here buys, AMC and makes 200% on it. And now everybody wants in. This whole FOMO thing, really, and chasing the holy grail or chasing the shiny object, okay, that will get you absolutely killed over the long term. I think the number one thing in trading is, and this is again, building your wealth, is consistency, but also the effect of compounding. Okay? If every single year you were able to put 15%, 20% gains together every single year, okay, you'd be a multi millionaire by the time you're 50 years old or so, and no one would need to work. Okay. Problem was, back in our 20s, either no one told us this or people did tell us this and we didn't pay attention. But what we tried to do as traders was, hey, I'm going to try this trend trading strategy over here. I'm going to try this scalping strategy. I'm going to try this wheel thing. I'm going to try selling covered calls. I'm going to sell naked puts. I'm going to buy out of the money options, whatever it might be. Okay. What all of that does is create a lot of inconsistency in your trading. The people that are going to be the wealthiest at the end of the day are going to be those that were consistent, putting consistent profits back to back to back. There are years where I've made 80, 100+% in a year, and then there's years where I lost 50% or 100% of the money. Okay, I've made a fortune, I've lost it, I've moved around. Okay, it's really been the last 20 years of my life where I've become much more consistent. I would say the first 15 years of trading or more, okay, super inconsistent, chasing everything, great learning experiences. All of those things added up to great learning experience. But what it didn't do was didn't create any wealth for me. Okay, I just really didn't make the consistent money that I wanted to. Okay? Now that I understand it, and for the last couple of decades, I've been able to put a plan together. Even though I do try different strategies, I don't really deviate from the core strategy. So there's spec trades, okay, but then there's the core trades, okay, that I want to stay consistent on. So consistency, number one. Second thing here is discipline. Okay? Great traders are highly disciplined, and having a business plan or your trade plan is one thing, but sticking to it is the other. Are you disciplined enough to exit your trades when your plan says you should? Or do you start to think, well, I could take profits early because everyone else is taking profits early on this thing? Okay. If that's not your plan, okay, again, it's consistency, but stay disciplined to your plan. Let your profits run or stop your losses early before they really compound. If you have a 2x stop or a 3x stop or a 4x stop, stick to it. Be disciplined enough to not think that, you know what, I think it's going to reverse here tomorrow. The people that think that are the ones that get murdered. They hang into a bad strangle. They hang on to a losing trade. Okay? They cut their winners too short. Okay? If you're a premium seller, okay, one of the advantages of being a theta trader or a premium seller is the fact that we have high probability win rates. Okay. We're going to win 80, 90, 95% of the time. Okay. But those couple losses can be significant. Okay. Now, if you're buying options, it's quite the opposite. You have a very low win rate, but you're letting your profits run, and hopefully you're cutting your stops, your losses early. To me, it's very difficult to trade that way, but some people are very good at it. But do you have the discipline to stick to your plan? Because if your plan says, I need to win 80% of these, okay, and if as long as I win 80% of these and I lose 20%, as long as my losses are this big, okay, and my wins are this big each, which means my wins are bigger than my losses, I have positive expectancy I'm going to win over time. Okay. Lack of discipline is really what comes into play when you're just watching what others are doing. You're letting them sway, or you have an idea of what you think should happen instead of just following your plan. You got to stay disciplined to the process and the plan. And then number 3 here is confidence. As a trader, you need to have confidence not only in your plan, but in your abilities here. And it takes a while to develop that confidence. You can't develop confidence in something after just a few weeks of trading. You can't really be confident. If you join someone's Discord group or someone's Telegram group or someone's service out there and they're selling you something, okay, even if it's a great strategy, okay, you aren't them, number one, okay? You're not going to be consistent at it right away because you're not really sure that you believe that it works. And if you don't have that confidence in it yet, okay, you're just going to throw money at it and see what happens. You've got to develop confidence, and confidence is really going to be key for you. So if you lack confidence in a new trading style or a new trading strategy, it's all good. You need to put those trades on consistently over time, okay, and stay disciplined to your plan. And if you do both of those things, the confidence will follow. Anyway, I wanted to point those things out. I think those keys are really important to your trading. I want you to think a little bit tonight of, am I confident in my strategy? Am I confident in my trade plan? Am I confident in my ability to adjust or do what I need to? Am I consistent? Am I putting trades on consistently, time after time after time? And then am I consistent in following my plan? Am I disciplined in my plan that I will follow it to a T? If it says enter here, exit here, stop here, take profits here, either whatever it is, you have to stay consistent to your plan. All right. That being said, we had a good day today in the market. Let's look at the charts briefly, and then we'll get into our trades specifically. So let me get myself off the video, and let's take a quick look at where we are on a couple of the main indexes that I'm watching. So ES today, minor up day on the session. SPX was up 13 points on the day. We're on the weekly chart here. We're definitely in a nice uptrend. We've been moving higher, came back, tested the 21, bounced higher, and now we're trying to set new all-time highs. So definitely in a bullish mode, bullish PSAR, MACD rising, RSI rising, squeeze leveling out here. So the weekly looks pretty bullish, looks really good. And if we take a look at the daily chart here, yeah, MACD kind of flat to falling. You're in overbought territory on the RSI. On the daily, almost on the weekly, but on the daily you are. But squeeze is rising. So a couple of different mixed signals. Could we be running out of steam a little bit? Sure. But you know what? You haven't even tested this 21 moving average since the 3rd of this month. So it's been a couple weeks since we've tested this 21 day and we broke over it. So I would expect any kind of a pullback here would be good for the market. But right now you're really up against this 3 ATR band. So bullish weekly, kind of flat and running out of steam on the daily. I think that just sets us up well for a couple different trade opportunities, especially 112s in there. If we take a look at oil and what's going on in oil, we'll start with the weekly here. We've been in an overall uptrend, okay, but a more recent pullback or bearish trend recently. Okay. That trend seems to have leveled out a bit. We're back to this uptrend line on the weekly. Oil was down a little bit today on the session, so we had a a bit of a down day, but we did finish off of our lows, and we did finish off of this trend line on the day today. Bearish PSAR, MACD falling, RSI falling, squeeze falling. Pretty bearish look. Even though we're in this overall uptrend, it's really been sideways. We're sitting right around the 21 and the 50 EMAs. Just a bit of a bearish look. If we're looking at the daily here, got MACD's been improving. Squeeze has definitely been improving the momentum. And RSI just kind of drifting along sideways, but we have a bullish PSAR signal. So overall, bearish weekly, a little bit bullish or sideways consolidation on the daily. I think we have to break ahead of this, 79.86 level here, break through the highs from a couple of days ago, yesterday, really, 79.78. Oh, I'm sorry, 80. So if we can get a hold over 80, that would put us back above the 200, probably the 50 and the 21. Now the 21 is just breaking through the 50, and now the 200. The 50 is now breaking or getting close to the 200. If that breaks, okay, we've got the death cross going here. So if we can't get above this 80 and turn this thing around, I think we could have some more pain to go. We could probably be drifting down, I think, into the low 70s is where I want to pinpoint things at. I think this sets up really well for a 1-1-2 trade. And let's see what happens. Do we break the trend line? Okay. Or do we fail at this resistance level here? Right now, it's a little bit up in the air, but bearish signs starting to appear here a little bit as we move sideways. So we have to get above 80 on oil. If we're taking a look at bonds, been in a bearish trend now for almost this entire year. We've been in this bearish channel, up, down, up, down. We're back to the top of the channel here, but really nothing, nothing major happening. Sideways consolidation. The weekly looks to be improving. Squeeze, RSI, MACD, all improving. Bullish PSAR. So I like the way that the weekly looks. And on the daily, we're rolling over on the MACD. So we're showing a little bit of weakness in here. Let's see what happens. Can the 21 get back above the 50? We had the 50 breaking the 200 back here on the death cross. And we dropped from about 115 all the way down to about 113. Not a huge drop. Okay, and we've rallied all the way back up and then some here. I like bonds. I like where bonds are setting up. I think strangle opportunities are good here. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Gold still on a tear. It's moving higher, new all-time highs yesterday. Today, just some sideways consolidation and a little bit of selling today. Weekly, overbought. MACD falling. Daily, not overbought, with everything rising a bit. So strong daily. Weekly is overbought. We can continue to be overbought. Wouldn't be surprised if we set some new highs here and roll over. However, this 3 ATR band is not far away, as well as the previous highs in here. So I think this is going to give us a little bit of a tough time. But if we can break through this 2450-ish level here, gold can continue to chug forward. All right, copper, been on a tear. This thing is way, way, way overbought daily, weekly. I think this weekly candle setting up for a pretty good potential reversal opportunity. So you get a nice doji forming on the weekly, doji yesterday on the daily, 2 days in a row. Okay. This thing is really indecisive. MACD starting to roll over on the daily. The weekly still looks strong, but you're way above the 3 ATR. I hate to get in front of something with this strong of a momentum. I mean, look at the squeeze momentum on both. You're overbought and still heading higher. But this is really, really, really overbought. And I think a pullback is possible here. I might be looking at some sort of a bearish trade on copper. NQ, looking at the Nasdaq, it's been on fire, rising daily, weekly. We're bullish on pretty much both ends, but we're getting to be a little overbought here. So we'll see what happens overall. Right now, you're just in this sideways consolidation zone. If we fail here at 18,813, okay, we could potentially come back down here, and you'd see the 21 around 17,747. That would also put us down here below the 50. We'll see what happens, but overbought. Okay, the Russell, okay, not overbought at all, and moving higher on the weekly. So nice bullish or bullish trend here on the weekly as we're moving higher, and then on the daily as well. See if we can bring this line in, have it make some sense in here. So I like these touches in here, not quite here. Again today, finished off of its low. So if we can get a move higher, I think you could see some rotation into RTY. The momentum seems to be coming out on the daily and then sideways to maybe a little bullish on the weekly. Great setup potentially for a strangle or a 1-1-2 trade. I'd like to see a little more pullback for a strangle, but I like the yin and yang of the daily and the weekly. Quickly, Aussie dollar still in this sideways consolidation. It's been pulling back for a couple of days now. Daily losing momentum and falling. Weekly still fairly strong, moving up from a momentum standpoint. Okay, we're following this uptrend line in here. A bit of a triangle. If we get a pop here, we can continue to move higher. Right now, I think everything is pretty much bullish, especially on the weekly here. I don't have any trades I want to put on in this. I've got trades working. I'd like to see a little more pullback. All right, looking at the euro. Euro, kind of a similar story. It's trying to push up higher, and we got some momentum to the upside going, and where it looks like we broke this downtrend line, and now we've got the uptrend in pretty good shape here. So we've got an uptrend, nice bullish trend going. Weekly looks solid. Daily is a little weak, but other than that, not a bad trade. And I think strangles are good here, which we do have working. All right, I think that's it. I don't want to cover too much and go too in depth. And then just a weird day. This is why I don't really love trading stocks a lot. You got Apple up, you got Microsoft up, but then you got Amazon down. Actually, you got Meta down and breaking below its 50. It couldn't break the 50. But then you got Google up, you got Nvidia up a little on the day. You got Tesla up big on the session. Tesla was one of my picks that I was looking for in the active trader service. I stayed out for now on it. I just didn't get a chance to put it on today, but I like the weekly chart setup here. I think Tesla could give a nice little run here. And then lastly, just touch base on what's going on in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been in a really good mood lately. So Bitcoin's been moving itself up strongly here. Nice uptrend on the daily, massive uptrend on the weekly. I mean, this thing has gone from the beginning of the year here around 44 all the way up to 77 or so, and where we're sitting now at 70. So it's been a really good run for Bitcoin, and it may still continue. Okay, so there's nothing here signaling that we're quite yet overbought. We were overbought a bit here, came back, hit the 21, bounced right off of it. The daily, I think, has more to run. So I think Bitcoin looks really good. And I think Ethereum is having one outstanding week. This was the week to get in on the break. Two massive up days this week on Ethereum. And it's climbed all the way from 3,000 to 3,800. Almost a 30% increase in 2 to 3 sessions here. Unbelievable. Ethereum trying to get back to its highs, came down, hit off the 21, which it consistently has been doing for a little while now. Huge bounce this week. Ethereum off and running to the races. We are in a new trade on coin here, even though we have a bit of a descending triangle. Looks like we're breaking out to the upside. Bullish PSAR today. MACD, RSI, squeeze, all rising on the daily And even on the weekly here, doing a little bit of a breakout of this downtrend, and it looks like you've got RSI and MACD trying to reverse. So anyway, there's where we are on some stocks and some tickers. And let's just wrap up by taking a look at the account today. And what did we do? We ended the day at 270 on the delta, which is 0.05%. So very delta neutral. Theta, 1338. So still pretty good theta, hanging out at 0.27%. We managed to get a little bit more of an increase today. So we broke the $500,000 mark yesterday. We're now up above that by another 1,300. So 501, 349, new all-time highs in the account. BP usage, 298, 511, which puts us right at 49.49 when you take our bill out of it. Now, yesterday we booked 2 112 trades. Today we booked some more winners. So in the last 2 days alone, almost $11,000 in gains this week alone. Let's take a look at what we did. So the first trade that came off overnight, technically, was a strangle we had on bonds. 14 days in this trade, 50% premium capture, 10.4% return on margin in 14 days. Not to be outdone, we had a naked put in ES, in the S&P futures. That trade came off in 15 days. We took 40% in 15 days for another 10.7% return on margin. So we're really seeing some great stuff happening. If we take a look at the dashboard here, we are now up almost 19% on the year in realized and 18% in net lick for the year. Up almost 4% a month is our average. So we're very close to it. Our goal for the whole month of May here was 14,450. We are sitting at 19,413 with a week to go. So hopefully we don't subtract from this too much and we can continue to add on to our gains. But right now we are in good shape to potentially have, with another $3,000, maybe our biggest month of the year so far. So that's shaping up pretty good for the market and our portfolio. And we are now 18-0 for this month. So when we're looking at closed trades, not a single red trade this month. Okay, so month started back in here. All right, so month started back in here. Let's just go in. We'll put the month start on that. So you can see for this month, not a single losing trade. Okay, so all good. We have not had a loser in this account. We have also not had a loser in active trader on all of our stock picks as well. So we have not had a loss this month. Knock on wood. Could come tomorrow. Who knows? Okay, but we're in pretty good shape with where we are. So I love this fact that we've got a 100% win rate this month. We'll see if that continues. I'm guessing we'll take some losses at some point in here. Well, I mean, we'll definitely have a hedge loser. I don't know if that comes off at the end of this month or not. We had one that fired early last month, so we had 2 of them close last month. So we'll see what happens. That might give us one of our losers for the month. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape. So we've booked our long-term 112, some of our profits on that. Bond Strangles up 4,500. Oil 112s, ZB 112s, and then some other 112s where we just had the PDS expire. Same thing with this BA 112. $2,000 in 0 DTE. I didn't see anything I liked today. Naked puts, $5,100 to the good there. Bill distributions of almost $1,000. Spec trades, $158 for a total of 19,413. So we keep plowing ahead. Things are looking good. We're staying consistent. Okay, we're going to consistently make money over time. Okay, we've been putting in the work on everything. We've been consistently booking profits. We've been consistently putting our trades on. So we've been consistent. Okay, trading with a ton of confidence that our plan is dialed in the way we want it. And I'm disciplined as hell. I'm following my trade plan and not deviating from it, no matter what everybody's asking me, what about this? What about this? Can you take from, I'm not being swayed by people. I'm going to stick to my plan. We'll make some tweaks and some adjustments. So we'll tack a little bit here, but we don't make any wild adjustments. We make mini micro adjustments and tweak. All right, so there we go. Let's wrap it up with you guys today. So trading, make sure you're staying consistent. Make sure you're staying disciplined. And that should hopefully build your confidence. You have those three things, you could really be successful in trading. Hope that helps. If you like this video, click the like button down below. Please share this with anybody that you think we can help. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to see what we're doing, get in there with all the nitty gritty and all of the advice, all of the help, all of the live trades, the live trading sessions, the help with your own personal trade plan. We're going to do it all for you in the Discord. So if you want to join up, this is a great time to do it. Let's get in and let's make some money. All right, everybody take care. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.